Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan and I wanted to do a video to talk about 2026 so far, how it's gone for me since starting back in March. A little bit about the backstory as to why I'm starting back and the online journey and the route to monetisation with that and how that's going and some of the goals that I've got and some of the challenges that I've faced so far. So for those of you who followed me on TikTok and some of my recent YouTube videos, you'll know that I walked away from a 60k a year software sales career to start my own local service business, just to start my self-employed journey really. And it went really well. About a year and a half in, I had a friend who just started doing TikTok shop, making loads of money. Apologies for the wind as well, guys, if the camera's moving about a bit. It's dead windy in the West Midlands today. We've even had some rain as well, which is actually unbelievable, which I'm so happy about because we were in desperate need for a bit of rain. Probably not enough to get the grass growing, but we've had a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so I sort of was throwing a curveball with regards to TikTok shop. I got involved in that. The gardening business took a bit of a backseat, so I was just kind of chasing the money and working from home. But in reality, yeah, TikTok shop's a great opportunity for people. You can make lots of money doing it, but you are just selling random products, so your job satisfaction is pretty low. And you are just kind of renting space on an algorithm rather than actually owning your own asset, which you do with your local service business. So I decided to get back into it again in March. Hadn't got rid of the business, I still had all my Google reviews, 86 5-star Google reviews, but obviously I had to come back into it again and start all over again and get all my customers back. Not my old customers, new customers. And yeah, I think March was about 3.5 grand in turnover. April was about 4, and then May, June and July have been 5+. So yeah, got to a good figure, a good monthly figure pretty quickly. And just did all the things that I did before, used my Google business profile, continued to post regularly on that. If you haven't got one of those yet, guys, get it, it's free, it's brilliant. Facebook's still a brilliant social media for this kind of work as well. Obviously posting on your own page and getting followers on that page, but also posting in local groups, that works really well. Nextdoor as well, so I post on there my before and afters and I get some inquiries for the Nextdoor app. That's one that people don't really use, I don't think, but it is still really good. You can actually send out loads of messages to people in your local area on there as well, because people are put into like local neighbourhoods, so you can go through a message like all the Daves in Cannock, all the Daves in Birmingham, whatever it might be, and see if you can get some business that way. So yeah, I've got a good base of regular customers again, which generates a decent amount of money per month, and then I keep Thursdays and Fridays free for any bigger jobs like pressure washing or garden clearances. Some of the challenges that I've faced so far in the gardening industry, I'd say number one would have to be the weather, because you know, when I first started, I was always worried about the winter. I never really thought I'd have to worry about the summer. But when you get into this business, you then realise that you might have periods of time where, like recently, we've had like 4 to 6 weeks, we've had barely any rain. So the grass just isn't growing, browned out, dead, and you'll get a lot of customers asking to cancel. That being said, I have managed to say to my customers, if there's anything else that I can do in the garden in the meantime, I'll come and do that. And most people have been really good, having me come round doing weeding or a bit of hedge work or whatever it might be, and keeping me ticking over. So that's been brilliant. I have started to slow down in regards to inquiries now, which is just to be expected when you've had no rain for so long. The exterior cleaning is quite a new thing that I've added to the business. So the inquiries for that haven't been crazy, but up until recently, I have been doing about 1 job a week. But it is a challenge in itself to try and grow that arm of the business. That's something I'm focusing on this year and going into next season. Some of the other challenges that I've faced, just dealing with the general public. 9 times out of 10, people are amazing, lovely to work with. Occasionally you'll come across people who drag their feet on payments or want to argue about silly things. It's just about staying professional, and you know, if that customer's no good and they're going to cause you hassle and take loads of your energy, just move on from it. Another challenge will be the thought of expanding the business by potentially taking on another staff member. I'm probably not at that point again yet where I can take on a full-time person to come and help me in the business. I could do, but obviously it would mean dropping my own income to supplement them, and then obviously the benefit of that will be I'll be able to do more jobs in a day because I'll have somebody helping me. But like I said, the drawback of that is earning less money myself. So I'm not there just yet, but that brings its own set of complexities and challenges anyway, regards, you know, booking working for them, and if they're, you know, calling in sick, and then how do you manage that work that they've not been able to go out and do. So a challenge there, but the business is growing, and it's the thought to coming back to think about how I can grow the business in that way. So that's a positive in itself. Talk a bit about the online stuff that I'm doing. So I don't really do any TikTok shop anymore, even though that is still a good earner. I've got videos on my TikTok shop channel that are still making sort of £5–10 a day. So it's a really good little interest account, if you like. But what I'm trying to do now is document my journey in self-employment. So you might have seen people talk about personal brand and stuff on YouTube, and that's the kind of route I'm going down. I want to inspire people to be able to set up their own business, because I think a lot of people work in jobs they hate and they don't see a way out, and they can't imagine how they can possibly start their own business and start making money and standing on their own 2 feet. So I thought this channel would be really good to inspire some younger people to take the same steps that I did. And yeah, it's massively improved my life and my mental health, increased my level of freedom in a way, because you do end up working more because you want to, because it's your own business, but you do have more headspace and you don't feel like you have to answer to anyone, because you really don't. You've got your own customers, okay, but and I suppose you could say you've got hundreds of bosses rather than one boss. But for me, working for yourself, being able to build a business that suits your lifestyle, have time off when you want and not feel guilty about it and things like that, it's priceless for me. But yeah, the online world is something I'm trying to grow, trying to grow the YouTube channel. Still post once a day on TikTok, planning to post once a week on YouTube and bring you guys the updates of how everything's going. So far the YouTube channel is really slow because I've got no prior editing skills. I'm not a vlogger, never done that before, so it's a brand new thing for me. So the only thing I'm doing at the moment is all I know how to do is just talk to the camera and keep you guys informed about how things are going. And if my journey and my learnings and challenges can help you guys in the future and in your journey, that's an absolute brilliant thing for me. So yeah, and I think down the line, monetization through YouTube, you know, if your videos do well and people like it and people watch your videos and it helps people, YouTube can pay you in different ways. You get paid through ad revenue for the amount of views you get on your videos. You can get sponsorship opportunities with brands and things like that. So we'll just take that as it comes, really. Another big goal of mine, something I wanted to do for years, and it's been something that I've followed on YouTube with American channels and stuff like that. It's people who interview business owners and talk about how they've managed to set their businesses up from scratch and things like that. So that's something I want to bring to this channel, is interviews with local businesses, which again will hopefully inspire another generation of people who are tired of working the 9-to-5 grind and want to set up their own business for themselves and for their family. So watch out for that, guys. I'm going to be dropping those videos, probably not that regular, but maybe like one a month or something like that. If there's any particular businesses you'd like me to speak to and do interviews with, drop them in the comments. But yeah, guys, that's about it really. I mean, just to talk about the goals for the local service business that I run, Stuart's Lawns and Exterior Cleaning. I'd like to get to a point where I'm doing sort of 5.5–6K months consistently, and by the end of next season, throughout the whole season. And I'd like to be able to navigate this winter quite well and pick up around £1,500 to £2,000 in December and January. I've got some really big news that I'll drop in future videos that's coming to me next March. So drop me a like, a subscribe, a comment if you want to follow the journey. And it's great to have you on the journey with me. And I'll see you on the next one.